Hi there, it's Ros Loxton here and welcome. So let's dive straight in and start with what's going on for you right now. I'll tell you a quick story. 15 years ago, I was actually working in property and I really was not doing so well. I felt like I was really working my butt off physically and mentally, but I could not get any traction. And my peers around me, they were all doing pretty well. And one day in front of other people, my boss said to me, "Do you want to know why you're not successful right now?" Like, ouch, right? Call it like it is, don't sugarcoat it. But what he said next, it really threw me into a tailspin, because I had owned and run a restaurant. I had performed on stage and I'd done some modeling and dabbled in a few different ventures and lived in several different states across the country. So what he said next, I was not ready for. But I'll tell you that in a minute, because I've got a feeling that it's something that maybe you need to hear. Just let me ask you a couple of quick questions. I want to know, do you hear yourself in any of these sentiments? I'd really like to have my own restaurant, but that just seems a bit bigger than me right now. I'm not ready yet. Or I do have my own business, but I feel like a phony. Who am I to put my name in lights? Or I really want a better income, but I'm too scared to ask for a raise. I don't know the words to use. I don't know how I would do that. Or I'd actually like a promotion, but I just don't see myself as that manager or that leader, because I can't tell people what to do and I don't know how to deal with conflict. Or at the moment, I'm lost. I feel a bit confused. I'm a bit isolated, if I'm to be honest. I haven't told anybody. Or my old favorite, I really love to be a performer, but I'm way too shy to perform in public. Like, so many people are better than me. Or I'd never let myself really dream too big, because I don't want that disappointment if you don't reach that dream, so I don't let myself dream. Or I can't have that ideal relationship because it's not safe to let people in. It's too dangerous. People hurt you. And I know that some of you do relate to some of those sentiments. Why? Why do you have those sentiments? What makes them true for you? I'll never forget that day, years ago now, when I was working in property and I was at a barbecue with a bunch of people, and we're all sitting around and my boss accused me of something. He said, we're all sitting around, and he said, "The reason that you're not successful is because you pinch yourself off. You create your own ceilings. You block the universe, Ros." Like, ouch, in front of everybody. But inside me in that moment, I was being stung by my shame, embarrassment and confusion. And time kind of stood still for a moment while those words just echoed around in my head. You pinch yourself off, you create your own ceilings, you block your own universe. Like, they screamed in my whole body, like an emergency siren. What do I do with that information? What do I say? I just wanted the universe to make me disappear. And I actually went into a bit of a tailspin for a few months. Like, what did all that mean? You pinch yourself off. You create your own ceilings. You block the universe. How was I even doing this? Like, he really reached a place within me and he stirred up that mud. And admittedly, I was struggling to get results in my job, but not just my job. My relationship was really all wrong too. And I was clinging to that, like a frightened kid clinging onto the leg of an adult on the first day of school, too scared to let go and venture into that great unknown. I remember another day, I did my usual walk of shame into the office with my tail between my legs, hoping that nobody would see me, just trying to be invisible. But my boss saw me, and he properly saw me on this day, and he said, "Ros, come into my office. We need to talk." Like, my heart just clenched into a fist, because that was the ultimate walk of shame through the pathway of the entire admin department on my way to the big office. And I walked into that big office, and there was this big view and this print on the wall of a little kitten looking in the mirror, seeing its own reflection that looked back at it like a big strong lion. Ironic. If I looked into that mirror in that moment, what I would have seen looking back at me was not going to be a big, strong line. This time my boss said, Roz, we believe the stories we tell ourselves. If you decide that you're Roger and you believe that story, then you're going to be Roger, because we believe the stories we tell ourselves. Like, he never over-explained it. He just went and dropped that mic right in front of me and left that huge, heavy insight just hanging off my brain. There it was again, right? That big bang, wet fish slap. That insight was liberating though, and so much to take on, so much to unravel. My mind was racing with ideas of stories that I'd like to believe. I needed to relearn myself. We believe the stories we tell ourselves. You can't imagine the effect those words had on me in that moment. You know, that boss, he really did show me tough love, and I needed it. I remember one other thing he said to me, you know, those slaps in the face, they really have been like defining moments. And things were getting pretty uncertain at work, and there was a lot of stress, and I said, look, I'll just leave. It seemed to be the easy answer, a really quite a relieving answer. I'll just leave and then it'll all be fixed. And what my boss said to me on this occasion, on my third defining moment, he said, he picked up the big wet fish, right, ready to hit me. And he said, go on then, Roz, just run away, mate, run away. I was already on tenterhooks, but whoa, that one welled up inside and tears just ran down my face. That one really hit home. That one hurt, because he called me out on being weak and being called out and stretching and growing. It hurts. But after that big wet fish slap, in a really short time, I went on to triple my income in that role. I didn't do it on my own. I got a mentor and they helped me to up-level my stories. And those new stories really worked. My ceilings lifted. I stopped pinching myself off and I stopped blocking the universe. And I started to get recognized for my achievements. I started to see the money come rolling in, and then more money come rolling in, and then promotion, and then I was mentoring others. Because my self-concept and my confidence really came out of hiding, out of being too humble and too apologetic. So what are your stories? How are you pinching yourself off? What ceilings have you created? How do you block the universe? I'm always checking in with my stories. It is not a set and forget thing. It's a lifelong commitment for me, and it needs to be for you too if you want to up-level your life. I know the stories that you live by, they are ruling your life. And I've extensively trained and worked in personal development for over 10 years. And I really want to share my blood, sweat and tears and all of my learnings with you, so that you can stop pinching yourself off and stop creating those ceilings and stop blocking the universe, so that you can let all that good stuff flow into your life. I'd love to mentor you. So I have developed the Star of Confidence program to do just that. It's a coaching program with 5 lessons, right? 5 one-on-one coaching sessions with me. And I keep those lessons up online in a private membership area. And then I call you when it's time for our next coaching call. It's really simple to get on board. You just go and jump on the web page that you're on now and scroll down and click on the Grab a Spot button and let me get you in, get you started, let me start to mentor you and to shift into some really powerful stories. But if you're still unsure about joining the Star of Confidence and being mentored by me, then let me ask you a couple of questions. What's your greatest dream? The life that you would choose, the one thing that you would do if you were guaranteed that you would not fail. And on the other side of that question, what are your greatest fears in life? What do you feel like you've given up on? What's one thing you would change about yourself if you had one wish? And then what would be different if you did make that change? What might your life be like if you were to find your voice and know how to treat yourself so you could teach others how to treat you and know how to confidently show up for yourself in all areas of your life, not pinched off, not creating ceilings and not blocking the universe. Get real now. What has it been costing you in your life to have self-limiting stories? What would life be like in years to come if you keep pinching yourself off, if you keep creating those ceilings and blocking the universe? I'm inviting you now to name your fears. Name what holds you back. Name what keeps you pinched off. What creates the ceilings? What blocks the universe from allowing a better you, a better life to flow for you? I'm also inviting you to this really beautiful opportunity to change any limiting stories, to become more self-aware, more empowered, more confident, and to stop feeling things like, I'm too scared to try that, I'm scared of failing, I'm worried about upsetting people, or I'm not as good as that person, or I don't feel like I deserve better, or I'm not smart enough, or deserving enough, or enough. Do you want to shift away from carrying those ghosts? Let me mentor you, because what happens when you take that steering wheel back is you experience more stimulating relationships where you feel safe in your own skin, in your own mind, and you experience more exchange of trust. You have a better expectation for prosperity and career success. You experience more peace with who you are and who you're growing to be in times to come. You experience more self-supporting self-talk that raises you up and holds you strong, especially on your vulnerable days. Right here, right now, take the steering wheel back out of the hands of fear. Step into your heart and your gut and make a choice that will lead you to a pathway that's decorated with all your best stories and lead you to your best experiences and your best life. It's so very possible. Just say yes to you and come and join me now. It's really easy. Use the link on the webpage, go to the section where you can grab a place and click the button and let me get you started straight away. And if your fear is still too big right now and those sneaky self-limiting beliefs are still holding on to you, then click that book a chat button and book a time, and I'll help you work through those fears so that you can say yes to you and get on board. Procrastination, it's fear in disguise. It's a defense mechanism. So take the steering wheel back off procrastination and go book a spot right now, or at least a chat, okay? I promise I'm not going to get that big wet fish and hit you with it that I had used on me, but I will be helping you have your defining moments and the shifts to help, unblock the universe and to let your flow happen. So I want to send you my love and my bravery, and I really can't wait to see you inside the program. I'll be yours in empowerment and in self-confidence. See you soon.